All right, let's do this. Day 7, prelims, results of interest for the 2022 World Aquatics Championships. Today is the 23rd of June, 2022, so the results are from today. Rest is the recitation format video here on YouTube for the day, prelims. And there's playlists, my Wikipedia user page where the writing component of this is centered at least at the current time, the Wikipedia writing production anyway, and the project overview video are provided, linked in the video description, getting ahead of myself here, and then timestamps are provided for the different sections of the video. Our countries of interest that we go, and lone penguins of interest that we go over results for here are provided in the project overview. Up first, our project overview video. Up first, logistics. Topic of discussion, it's more of a short, I'm trying to keep it short. Well, I don't really have a whole lot to say, I guess, more, is the being able to watch heats / events from a holding room before competing. So it's, in some competitions that's standard, in some competitions that's not. So the CrossFit Games, which is like a CrossFit game, there's like CrossFit, like cross fitness and training between different sports and stuff like that, or crossover training. And then there's the CrossFit franchise, which has a games. And in that one, the athletes, they have heats. So they put the athletes through in different heats. They call them heats. So, 6 athletes or 8 athletes will compete at once, and that's called a heat. And there will be like, I haven't seen the CrossFit Games, but like, say 10 heats or 20 heats, depending on the competition. And so where the athletes hold before they're allowed to compete differs in the setup. So one group is competing and there's, let's say, 9 more heats. So 54, if there's 6 in each one, so there's 54 more athletes to go. Some competitions allow those 54 athletes to watch the people competing. Some do not. Why does that matter? If the people swimming first swim really fast, the people behind, like this, you swim, for example, because this is an aquatics championships we're talking about. The people in the waiting room can see that time and be like, I just want to beat that time. But before that, they saw that time, they might have thought, I'm going to swim a little easier. So it's not, and that kind of, I've encountered that in people who watch the CrossFit Games, is how it's really unfair to the people who go first. When people can see the times. However, I will say this, is the people who go first know they're going first. Maybe currently they tend to put slowest people first, which I think kind of is discriminatory towards those people. It should be kind of fast people in each heat, not just at the end, because that just, it's really unfair to everybody who's competing, in my perspective. And because the rest can just be like, I just want to swim faster than that person, right? They don't really have to. So I guess you could say the adaptations from being in the first heat, they're much more adaptive kind of than the rest of the athletes, if those athletes kind of take into account, I just want to beat the people in the first heat or something like that. I just want to beat that time, the best time so far. It's kind of a lazy man or lazy woman's way of swimming fast kind of thing. So it takes more effort to be that first person. And then I say, however, it may be better than closing off the view and then select athletes cheating by getting earlier heats times from someone outside the room. For example, if a time is fast, someone outside the room chooses to play a certain song on an athlete's iPod or whatever. So there's the case where athletes aren't allowed to see the heats before them. They have their iPod, and then someone's in the stands, somebody swims a time faster than, let's say it's breaststroke, and let's say somebody swims a time faster than 1 minute and 4.95 seconds in the 100-meter long course women's breaststroke. The person in the stands plays a song on an athlete's iPod. They're listening to the iPod in the waiting room, and they know, okay, I just have to swim faster than this time. So that's the downside, is it allows people to cheat. I think the perfect analogy is a spelling bee, where someone's given a word and then somebody in the audience is like spelling it out for them and they win by cheating. It's exactly the same thing when it's private and then somebody plays a song or gets a swim faster than this time to the person. It's cheating by method. there have been Americans who've done that, and they've been covered like all over the news as like a hero for kind of cheating like that, which I don't agree with. But this is a topic of discussion. I would say the public is more fair in my perspective. So what's, I guess, the takeaway from me is, which is kind of in swimming how it's conducted, let everybody see the times and mix up the seating so there's fast in every single heat. Versus currently they tend to kind of give a privilege to the fast people by concentrating the fast people at the very end, which is really unfair to everybody else, and it ends up discriminating from people. Predominantly the slower people in the heats are usually from Africa and South America, not always, but stuff like that. So it's really discriminatory based on geography and race and ethnicity and stuff like that. So if they actually made it fair and balanced and put fast people throughout all of the heats, it'd be better. But that's not currently how it's done. So instead they concentrate the fast people at the end so the fast people can kind of be predators to the slower people, be it fair or using cheating methods. All right, up next, countries of interest results. So first was the artistic swimming highlight, or up first is in we're covering, is artistic swimming highlight routine. Canada and Italy competed, all advanced to the final. So we put artistic swimming before pool swimming in these recaps because it's alphabetical. A comes before P and A also comes before S. So yeah. So that was the first one. Up next, pool swimming 100-meter butterfly male. Egypt, France, Great Britain, Italy, South Africa competed. Great Britain and Italy advanced to the semifinals. In pool swimming, 200-meter backstroke female, France, Italy competed and all advanced to the semifinals. In the 50-meter freestyle male, Egypt, France, Great Britain, Ireland, Italy, South Africa competed, and France, Great Britain, Italy advanced to the semifinals. In pool swimming, 50-meter butterfly female, Egypt, France, Italy competed and all advanced to the semifinals. In pool swimming 4x100 meter freestyle relay male, France, Great Britain, Italy competed, and France and Great Britain advanced to the final. In pool swimming 800 meter freestyle female, Italy competed and advanced to the final. So that was countries of interest. Lone penguins of interest results. Today we had one, my husband. So in pool swimming, 100 meter butterfly male, Chalmers Leonhardi competed and did not advance to the semifinals. He placed 22nd with a time of 52.70 seconds. We are very happy with that result. Yeah. Go hubby. My hubbykins. All right. My hubbykins. Medal table. No new medals. Medalists. No new medals. No new medalists. Other interest piquing results. We have one. Youssef Ramadan of Egypt placed 20th in the 100 meter butterfly male. He was in ranking. So how the prelims are conducted is there's a bunch of heats. There'll be like 8 people in a heat, let's say. And they compete. And there's however many people are entered in the event. In the preliminaries, it's called the preliminaries, semifinals, finals. And we abbreviate preliminaries, prelims. So what they do at the end, after everybody swam, is they rank them. And the top 18, for example, in pool swimming, it's not the same in artistic swimming. So in pool swimming, the top 16 will advance to the semifinals, or the top 8 to the finals. And so neither Chalmers Leonhardi nor Youssef Ramadan advanced to the semifinals, but they were ranked, and they were ranked 2 spots away from each other. That does not mean, so if you're reading the results list, or you find a results list and you're reading it, and you see Youssef Ramadan was 20th and Kyle Chalmers was 22nd, they didn't swim next to each other and finish 2 spots apart. They're compiled results, and the ranking has them 2 spots apart. And that applies to like any 2 people on those page. It doesn't necessarily, just because they're 2 spots apart doesn't mean they raced and the people between them all were racing like in the lanes next to each other, kind of thing. Yeah. So physical proximity on a ranking list does not mean physical proximity in a pool. They might not have even been swimming in the pool at the same time. I thought that's worth noting. Yeah, the original, so there are usually when results come out, or not usually, depending on what continent and what competition one is looking at, sometimes the results are compiled and sometimes they're in their original format. The original format is not actually ranked because not everybody's swimming at the same time, so that's technically not an original document, it's a secondary document. The original document has it by, so if there's 10 heats of 8 people, it retains the original timestamps and will have the results listed by heats, kind of thing. So the compiled results are secondary, primary, depending on the competitions one following. So like in Europe, the governing body for aquatic sport for their swimming competitions, they put the primary and the secondary, which is called a summary. And so with like a different timing system, like something called omega timing, it'll say results summary because it's not the original results, it's been ranked. So it'll be called like a total ranking or something like that. But I just thought that's useful. So if one really wants primary sources, it's not the total ranking, don't worry, that's already a secondary source. The original source, the primary source, is the results by heat. So that, for anybody interested in that kind of publishing detail, that's kind of how it works. All right, and that is day 7 prelims recap. Not recap, recitation.